starts tonight. It's co-sponsored by Carrollton-Farmers Branch ISD Council PTA and North Dallas AAUW. Two well-established and respected community associations are presenting this event, CFB ISD Council PTA, North Dallas AAUW. This forum is being presented on Zoom. The forum is also being presented and recorded on Facebook Live. Participants are consenting to being recorded for this purpose. The English recording will be translated to Spanish and after available live if you join the Zoom webinar tonight. The purpose of the forum is to educate voters on the upcoming elections. School board trustees are nonpartisan. No candidates will be endorsed in keeping with the nonpartisan policies of these nonprofit education-based associations. The AAUW, North Dallas, Texas branch, their mission is advancing equity for women and girls through advocacy, education, philanthropy, and research. The AAUW is the nation's leading voice promoting equity and education for women and girls since their founding in 1881. AAUW members have examined and taken positions on the fundamental issues of the day: educational, social, economic, and political. The CFB ISD Council PTA, Every Child, One Voice, their mission is to make every child's potential a reality by engaging and empowering families and communities to advocate for all children. The duties of a trustee are defined. I'll skip to the governance of an independent school district. Section A, an independent school district is governed by a board of trustees who, as a body corporate, shall, 1, oversee the management of the district, and 2, ensure that the superintendent implements and monitors plans, procedures, programs, and systems to achieve appropriate, clearly defined, and desired results in the major areas of district operations. In short, the Board of Education acts as the school district's policymaking body and is the official representative of the people for all public education in CFB ISD. The board functions according to state and federal laws, regulations of the State Board of Education and the State Commissioner of Education, and the will of the people as expressed in district elections. Cumulative voting. The voter can cast as many votes as there are board member seats up for election. General election is for 2 seats with 3-year terms using the cumulative voting method. You will have 2 votes. You can use your 2 votes in any combination. You are not required to cast all of your votes, but you cannot cast more than 2 votes. You can cast all of your votes for the same candidate, or you can distribute your 2 votes among the candidates. Here is a sample ballot for Dallas County. There's another one for Denton County, but we're not showing that one. We're showing Dallas County, which shows under the section Carrollton-Farmers Branch ISD general election. The instructions state you can cast up to 2 votes in any combination for the candidates of your choice. You may mark only up to 2 ovals. In this example, there are 6 names. The top 2 are Sally Derrick. The 3rd and 4th are Cassandra Hatfield, and the 5th and 6th are Sydney Drake. You can fill any 2 ovals. Voting, early voting is April 19th through April 27th. Election day is May 1st. For more information on Dallas County elections, visit dallascountyvotes.org, or for Denton County elections, visit votedenton.com. This next slide will be playing a short 2-minute video before we get started tonight.
Community, fun, diversity, advocacy, reflection, scholarships for faculty and students, staff appreciation, friendship, impact.
PTA provides the essential link between our schools and our families. From advocacy to senior scholarships to staff appreciation, our PTA is the bridge to connect our families to the pulse of each school in CFB ISD. Through their community support, collaboration with parents and teachers, and their devotion to strengthening each campus, the PTA and CFB ISD makes our school district a better place. I encourage you to become involved at your child's school and support your local PTA.
PTA is the doorway to our campuses. Many times our families get involved because of PTA and get to know other parents. We are so thankful in CFB ISD to have such a strong PTA community.
www.joinpta.org.
Hi, welcome and thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Kim Brady and I am the CFB Council PTA President. To begin, I want to mention that we are excited to offer Spanish translation of this event in real time via Zoom. To hear our interpreter, please click on the interpretation button at the bottom right of your Zoom screen and choose the ES or Spanish option. May's election has many important local elections, including school board. This forum focuses on that election, 2 seats, 3 candidates. Council PTA has a long history of informing our community about candidates who seek to election in this volunteer, nonpartisan position. Please be sure to join your school's PTA today by going to www.joinpta.org. The CFB ISD School Board Trustee elections use cumulative voting. A cumulative voting election permits voters in an election for more than 1 seat to put more than 1 vote on a preferred candidate. When voters in the minority concentrate their votes in this way, it increases their chances of obtaining representation in the legislative body. In cumulative voting, you, the voter, can cast as many votes as there are board member seats up for the election. You must cast all of your votes for the same candidate, or you can distribute your votes among multiple candidates.
Thank you to Kim and the Council PTA, as well as to all of you who are making time to join with us this evening. This forum is a wonderful opportunity for residents to learn about the people who seek to serve on the Carrollton-Farmers Branch Board of Trustees. I'm Jan McDowell, President of the North Dallas AAUW. That's the American Association of University Women. We're a nonpartisan, nonprofit organization that welcomes new members. We believe that to ensure a future of equal opportunity and equal rewards in the workforce, we need to start with our educational system. Your upcoming vote for new members of the school board is your chance to impact the future of education in our community. Each candidate will have 2 minutes to make an opening presentation. Then there will be 3 questions that will be answered by all 3 candidates in rotating order. Following those, we'll have additional questions that will be asked to just 1 candidate, and we'll get through as many of those as time permits. To wrap up, each candidate will make a 2-minute closing statement. Thanks again, and now back to you, Kim.
Thank you, Jan. With the details established, I would like to introduce you to tonight's moderator. Joining us this evening in this valuable role is Erin Carter. Erin is the president of the MetroCrest Chamber of Commerce and a true advocate for educating voters in local elections such as this one. Thank you for your time tonight and the efforts to increase voter turnout in races that matter so much to our community. Erin?
Thanks, Kim, and thanks, Jan. I'm excited to be with you all again this evening. I'm excited to participate, and as Kim shared with you, I'm the president of the Metro Crest Chamber of Commerce. We absolutely believe in the pipeline between public education and tomorrow's workforce. This forum provides a variety of questions, including those we received in advance from the community. Now, let me introduce to you the candidates in ballot order. Sally Derrick, Cassandra Hatfield, and Sydney Drake. Thank you all for running for school board trustee. Candidate responses will be timed. The timekeeper will display a digital countdown timer on their screen. You probably see it in a different place than I do, but you'll be able to see it all times this evening. Candidates have 2 minutes for prepared opening remarks. Each candidate will then have 1 minute to respond to all questions. Candidates will then have 2 minutes to conclude with their final remarks or rebuttals. You may see at times that I will pause, which will allow our wonderful interpreter, Sylvia, time to catch up and translate. I have drawn random numbers in order candidates for prepared questions. Each candidate will answer the same number of questions submitted in advance from the community and as time allows. We will begin with opening remarks in alphabetical order. 2 minutes, please. We will begin tonight with opening remarks from Ms. Derrick. Go ahead, Ms. Derrick. You have 2 minutes.
Good evening, everyone. I know that our opening remarks are being translated, so I want to make sure I stay to the script that we submitted so that they can translate everything. I want to start by thanking the Council, PTA, and AAUW for hosting this candidate forum this evening. I applaud your efforts to doing this online and especially your efforts to translating this in Spanish. That's really a special opportunity for our community, and I'm excited about that. My name is Sally Derrick, and I'm a lifelong resident of Carrollton-Farmers branch. It's been an honor to have served the school board for the past 3 years, and I currently serve as the board vice president. My husband, Tony, and I live in Farmers Branch with our 2 daughters, Emily and Addison, who both currently attend CFB schools. And I've had the unique experience as a board member of having had children who've now attended CFB ISD at the elementary, middle, and high school level. My involvement in our schools began in 2009 when my oldest daughter, Emily, started kindergarten. And for over 12 years, I've been an active volunteer and passionate advocate for our schools. I have served as the PTA president at Janie Stark Elementary, at Vivian Field Middle School, and then currently serve as the PTSA president at Newman Smith High School. I've also served with the Council PTA. I was the vice president of leadership development and also chaired the gently used book sale that we all love and miss. As a school board member, I bring my passion for our schools and communities together. I truly believe that when our schools are strong, and so are our communities, and I look forward to serving for another 3 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Derrick. Ms. Drake will now hear your opening remarks. You'll have 2 minutes.
Thank you to the CFB ISD Council PTA and the AAUW North Dallas branch for this opportunity. I'm honored to be here and excited to say that I'm running for CFB ISD School Board. Like many students in our district, I know what it means to be a low-income student of color and the first in my family to graduate from college. I understand how quality education unlocks opportunities for students in our community. It is because of supportive educators and through hard work and perseverance, I earned my master's degree in social work. Currently, I am the Southeast Regional Program Manager for Ignite National, a nonprofit organization that serves young women in our district and across the state. As an engaged member of the CFB ISD community, a paying member of PTA, and a proud CFB ISD parent, I have been in awe of the important work school boards do to ensure our students have the best education possible. And after years of regularly attending school board meetings, I decided that I would roll up my sleeves and be part of the work. In 2019, I was appointed to the Bond Oversight Committee to oversee groundbreaking projects for the $350 million bond. Additionally, I have worked alongside CFB ISD educators and community stakeholders as a member of the Collaborative Vision 2030 Committee. As a member of this Vision 2030 Committee, I analyzed data and provided direction for the efficient and effective use of taxpayers' funds. As a CFB school board member, I will focus on making sure decisions are based on 4 principles: quality, equitable education, supporting educator effectiveness, and fiscal transparency. Remember, we use cumulative voting to fill out our two board seats, and I would be honored if I could have both of your votes, as I promise to be an ardent champion for all students.
Thank you, Ms. Drake. Ms. Hatfield, it is now your turn. You'll have 2 minutes for your opening remarks.
Good evening. Thank you, Council PTA and AAUW, for hosting this forum and for all the wonderful ways you support our schools and families. My name is Cassandra Hatfield. I have 17 years of education experience, ranging from being a math teacher and specialist, managing STEM education research projects, and teaching future teachers and administrators at a local university. 3 of my years in education were in CFB ISD as an elementary math specialist, serving between 5 and 9 campuses. My family returned to Carrollton for our children to go to CFB schools. The high quality programs, professional development provided for teachers, and the dual language education was a priority for us. Based on my experience as an employee, I knew I could trust our school system to meet the needs of my children, who are now in pre-K and 3rd grade. I have been actively engaged in our schools and community and will continue to be active as an advocate for all children. My education and management experiences have been an asset in my service to the community and district. My service includes being active in my children's PTA, serving in 2 vice president roles, being the secretary of the District Improvement Committee, active on a campus improvement committee, and serving as a troop cookie manager for a local Girl Scout troop. I believe in CFB and in public education. As a school board trustee, I will keep our children a priority, our community engaged, and utilize my management and education experience to ensure our future as a district continues to be bright as I set and monitor goals to steward the taxpayer dollars. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hatfield. I'm gonna wait until Sylvia's lips stop moving and I get a smile, because I will know that she is done. All right, thank you all for your opening remarks. It's easy to tell now when we stop together on Zoom. So we'll go ahead and start with the first common question, which you will each receive, but I will repeat every time. So the first common question will go to you, Ms. Drake, and it is list 2 of CFB ISD strengths, or what does CFB ISD do well? You'll have 1 minute.
Thank you for this question. I think that our district does a great job at marketing themselves. We participated in the school choice program before we moved to the district, because I knew that La Valita Elementary School would give my daughter all of the great tools that she needs in order to succeed and have the best education possible with the Coding Academy. And I also believe that our district does a great job with being communicating with our district as well.
Thank you very much. The same first common question now will go to Ms. Hatfield. What are 2 of CFB ISD strengths, or what does CFB ISD do well?
One of the strengths that CFB ISD has is the CCMR program. That program is advancing very quickly and making great strides at ensuring that we are providing our students with opportunities to be able to be successful in the workforce after high school, starting all the way in elementary school. And I really believe that as that program develops and evolves, that we are making an impact for students, and that it's critically important that we continue our college, career, and military readiness. Additionally, I think we are very fortunate that we have such a wonderful finance department that helps trustees monitor the allocation of resources, planning for expected and unexpected expenses, and strategically earmarking funds based on specific district goals. I think our commitment to one-to-one technology for students and the forward thinking of cost saving and ensuring that we're planning for those expected technology experiences or expenses in regular cycles is really, really critical for our district, and I'm very proud of our finance department.
Thank you. And Ms. Derrick, same question to you. List 2 of CFB ISD strengths, or what does CFB ISD do well? And you will have the same minute to answer.
Okay, very good. I think I want to talk about what we do well. I am super proud of the work our district has done over the past 5 years to increase our programs of choice. There's a lot of talk about school choice in the state of Texas. A lot of parents speak that they want to have school choice, and I'm always so excited and proud to talk about the programs of choice that we already have here in CFB ISD. We've been doing this work for years. This is not new to us. In fact, my family first came to CFB in 2009 because of a program of choice. Both of my children have completed the dual language program through our district. We were one of the first in the Metroplex to offer the dual language program. And that was just the beginning. And that was back in 2007 that program first began. Since that time, we've expanded it. The dual program, we have now programs of choice at almost every school in our district so that our parents truly do have a choice in the education. And because of open enrollment, their children can choose to go to any of our wonderful campuses.
Great. Thank each of you for answering that. I know that was tough to only pick two, but thank you for sticking with the instructions. All right. We will go ahead and go to the second common question that you will each receive. The second common question will begin with you, Ms. Hatfield, and you'll have 1 minute to answer. Without STAR or end of course data from last year, what recommendations do you have to assess learning loss and implement necessary adjustments to the goals for the upcoming year? Again, you'll have 1 minute to answer.
So in this area, what's critically important is our progress monitoring tools and the way that we're continuously monitoring our children. It is very important to note that the state expectations have not changed, but yet our teachers are working so hard and tirelessly to catch students up from a history of trying to navigate a pandemic while also working towards filling that achievement gap. So we need to have appropriate tools that continue to monitor their progress and help us decide what the next steps are so that we can actively support our students right at the area where they need the help.
Thank you very much. Ms. Derrick, same question to you for a minute. Now with the second common question, without STAR and end of course data from last year, what recommendations do you have to assess learning loss and implement necessary adjustments to the goals for the upcoming year?
So the reality is we have to know where our students are. Without that data, there's nothing that we can do to hone in on the learning losses of the past year. I'm proud of the work that our board has done to support the continuation of MAP testing. That's a program that the district board supported, purchased years ago, that gives us multiple stops within a school year to evaluate the students' progress and where they are to make sure that they're continuing to move forward, as well as review them as a whole to determine where they are as a student. That's data-driven information we can get that helps us to determine the next steps for that child. Because the reality is the pandemic has affected everyone differently, and we need to know where our students are. Everyone is coming from a different place. Their learning has been impacted in different ways. And in order for us to truly move forward as a district, we have to be able to meet our students where they are with that data about that particular student.
Thank you, Ms. Derrick. Ms. Drake, the same question will go to you for 1 minute. Without STAR and end of course data from last year, what recommendations do you have to assess learning loss and implement necessary adjustments to the goals for the upcoming year? You'll have 1 minute.
Thank you. I think this is an important question because we did not see COVID coming, and we have to admit that we're going to have some learning loss with our students. I also believe we have to trust our teachers. They're paid, and they are very well knowledgeable of where their students are. We have to be able to trust the data and make sure that we know where the students are, and that could be with monthly growth check-ins or beginning of the year, end of the year testing. But we have to see where our students are, and we have to go with the STAR testing, but also trust our students, trust our teachers as well.
Thank you very much. And the third and final question for the common questions will begin with you, Ms. Derrick. 1 minute. If you win a seat, you will be responsible for spending about $1 billion of other people's money over the next 3 years. What is your level of financial literacy, and how does it apply to this particular responsibility? You'll have 1 minute to answer.
Well, as a current trustee, I have been overseeing those dollars for the past 3 years. I've actually sat on the audit committee for our district for the past 2 years. With a very fine-tooth comb, our district is looking over finances. We have outside agencies coming in to complete the audit. The board's role in that is to ensure that we are hiring the right people to do what's right with our taxpayers' dollars. The board's job is not the day-to-day management and nitpicking of those dollars, but to ensure that the dollars are being used for the best return on investment so that our children's education remains in the focus, and we can speak to the taxpayers to let them know that we are good stewards of their dollars and doing what's best for our community.
Thank you, Ms. Derrick. Same question to you, Ms. Drake. If you win a seat, you will be responsible for spending about $1 billion of other people's money over the next 3 years. What is your level of financial literacy and how does it apply to this responsibility? 1 minute.
Sorry about that, I was still on mute. In 2019, I was appointed to the Bond Oversight Committee to oversee the groundbreaking project for the bond. I am a current member, I'm still a member of that committee, and I recognize the importance of fiscal responsibility and transparency to our community, and showing how our hard-earned dollars are being spent. Due to my experience on this committee, as well as the Collaborative Vision 2030 committee, I am very aware of where our schools stand financially and what options we have moving forward to make sure we provide an excellent education for our students. And I believe that CFB is in a good financial position going forward. And as a trustee, I will work hard to ensure that the best decisions are being made, not only for our staff and students, but for our taxpayers as well.
Thank you very much. Okay, last question for you, Ms. Hatfield. If you win a seat, you will be responsible for spending about $1 billion of other people's money over the next 3 years. What is your level of financial literacy and how does it apply to this responsibility? You'll have 1 minute as well.
So my experiences managing budgets at the corporate, state, and federal grants has prepared me for being able to be in this role. There are many long-range budgeting and finance matters that demand diligence and really strong leadership in this area. And transparency and strong fiscal control over our ongoing bond projects is critically important, while we also maintain strong resource monitoring that guarantees the biggest bang for our buck. As Ms. Derrick talked about, with the importance of just looking at those resources. Supporting at the district goals and objectives will be absolutely critical with the goals that we've set. And my strong background in public education, budgeting and allocation management, and supervision of these resources will enable me to support the district in this way.
Okay, thank you very much. And we're going to give just a pause for Sylvia to have an opportunity to catch up, and she smiled, so she's good. I think she has the most difficult job of the night, so we want to give her just a minute and some kudos for that. So she probably doesn't like translating that part, giving herself kudos, but she deserves it. So we're going to move on to the next opportunity for sets of questions. Thank you all for your responses so far. They've been great. We're now going to segue into the community submitted questions. We played a game of chance earlier to fairly determine what order the candidates would go in. Sally, Ms. Derrick, you're going to go first. Cassandra, Ms. Hatfield, you're going to go second. And Cindy, Ms. Drake, you're going to go third. Each candidate will answer the same number of questions from the community. Okay, so we're back together. All right, and I think you each have a minute to answer this, but I could be wrong, but I think I'm right on that. So we're gonna, Ms. Derrick, you're gonna go first, and I think you'll see it when the timer starts. So we're in this together, we're learning together. So here we go, Ms. Derrick. What are your thoughts on the school district's programs for special education, English language learners, and gifted students? And I believe you have a minute, and we'll learn together when we see the timer.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start.
Okay.
So what we do know is that our district is a moderate sized district. We have about 25,000 students, and we serve students of all sorts of needs, including ELL, special ed, and gifted and talented students. It's important to know that our district Since I've been on the board since 2018, we've been doing a hard, deep dive into the programs that we are offering to ensure that we are doing what's best and we are using the latest technology and resources that we have available. Most recently, we completed a special ed audit, knowing that that's a pretty large program for us. We serve about 13 to 15% of our student population in the special ed departments throughout our district. And we wanted to make sure special ed knowledge is ever changing. The programs that we need to offer our students, we need to make sure that we're doing what's best and having those programs available to our students at as many campuses as possible. And I'm proud of that work.
Thank you so much, Ms. Derrick. My script does say thank candidates after each question, but I would like to also thank you all for trusting me on the minute. But going forward, you each will have a minute per question. So thank you very much on that. And again, you'll each answer different questions. So Ms. Hatfield, your question is, how would you balance the competing needs of students, staff, and the community when making decisions for the school district? And you'll have a minute.
I think in the decision making, it's critically important that we always keep our children first while recognizing that our teachers and staff play a critical role in making sure that we are meeting the needs of our students. So when trying to balance that, it's important that we're looking at the tools and resources that we're providing teachers and staff so they can be efficient and effective at their job, while also ensuring that we're monitoring the progress so that we're seeing student growth occur during that. At all times in this process, the students have to be the center of our focus, but recognizing that the professionals that we have put our children in the hands of are so critically important that we must, as a board of trustees, ensure that we are allocating those resources and funds, and also trusting the professionals at the district level to meet the needs of our students.
Okay, thank you. We'll give a second to catch up. All right, thank you very much. Ms. Drake, your question is, what do you see as the challenge with charter private homeschools, and how is CFB ISD responding? You'll have 1 minute.
I think this is an important question. I live right across the street from a charter school. I receive correspondence all the time from this particular charter school about enrolling my daughter there. And it's very beautiful marketing packages, etc. But the reason we stay in CFB is because I am a believer in public education. I'm a product of DISD. I understand and know what this district can offer our students. And it doesn't compare with charter schools at all. And so I think our district is doing a great job in competing against charter schools. We could improve with our marketing, but always trust public education first.
Great, thank you so much. Ms. Derrick, do you see yourself as a representative? I went too fast, I moved on. I'm so sorry. All right, here we go. Ms. Derrick, do you see yourself as a representative of a community or of the school district as a whole? You'll have 1 minute.
So I would definitely say representative of the school district as a whole. As most people know, I'm a lifelong resident of Carrollton-Farmers branch, and having grown up here and raised my family here, it's a community. It's, you know, someone everywhere you go. My children have actually been able to attend schools now in both Carrollton and Farmers branch. And that's been a fun experience for us because, you know, if you stay within your feeder program of your local school, then you may not know what all is out there to be offered to you. And we took advantage of another program of choice. And I have a daughter that's attending Newman Smith High School, which is not a community that I would necessarily have had a student at without the program of choice. It's been a really fun experience to care so much about the community cares right back. There's so many great things happening in all pockets of the district, and it's been really neat for the past 3 years to be a part of all of that.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Hatfield, your question is, how should our athletic programs be utilized to make our district more competitive in terms of enrollment? You have 1 minute.
Well, I think our athletic programs are critically important to the whole child. So when we look at our children and their academic performance, it's important to marry that with the extracurricular opportunities that they have. So they should be a supplement and an enhancement to the academic culture, but not take precedence. And I think that the most important thing is that we look at the fact that when we're educating a child, their engagement in those things are important, but that should not be the priority of how we're trying to drive students to the district.
Thank you. All right. Ms. Drake, your question is, which PTAs are you a member of? You have 1 minute.
Yes, I am a paying member of the La Valita PTA. And that is the only one. We're not active, but me and my husband do support with our paying membership.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Derrick, how will you prioritize post-pandemic mental health services for students and staff? You have 1 minute.
So the reality is that the trauma of the last year is real. And I think we have to admit that, and we have to be prepared to address that as a district. And we're already seeing that. We need to spend, and we're going to have to, as a district, spend the next few years in really determining the true extent of the impact of the pandemic. There's learning loss, and we know that, but we can't address the learning loss until we meet our students' most basic needs. We have families who have lost so much over the past year, and that's a huge burden for our students to carry. So in order to do that, we have to be fully committed as a board to allocate resources to full funding of mental health resources. And I'm proud of the work we're already doing, and I think we can continue to do more. And I think we're going to continue to see more and more of the impacts of the past year. And as a board member, I will completely support that, because I know it's crucially important in order to educate the full child.
Thank you. Ms. Hatfield, your question is, has CFB ISD teacher pay become more competitive? You may elaborate for 1 minute.
Yes, I think that teacher pay has become more competitive. Our board has worked very hard to make sure that they are allocating funds for our teachers to be paid at a better rate. I think there are boundaries within that fall within the state level, but I do believe that our district has made a concerted effort to ensure that we are providing additional funds to our teachers. And I really value the efforts that the district has made and the board has made on that.
Thank you. Ms. Drake, why do you believe that fine arts in our district are important to the well-being of students, and what will you do to help advocate for them? You have 1 minute.
I think fine arts is very critical for our district, and it allows our students to have enhanced abilities and learn different skills from music to theater arts. I have a daughter who loves fine arts, and so I will always advocate and push for those programs, because they are critical in giving our children lifelong skills and connecting kids to school and each other.
Thank you very much. Ms. Derrick, HB 3 had a big focus on college, career, and military readiness, CCMR. What are your thoughts on the way CFB is focusing on CCMR programs? You have 1 minute.
I'm proud of the work we've been doing in CCMR. I'm actually really glad that you asked me this question, because I am so excited about it. What we know is that not all of our students are not college bound. There are other options out there. Some families, college is just not going to be an immediate option for them. So for students, we have to, as a district, provide those other opportunities for career or military. And part of House Bill 3 supported those efforts. So as a district, we are being reimbursed for our increase in participation in CCMR programs. And I'm really proud of the work that we have done to increase it. Next year at Ranch View High School, we are introducing a PTEC high school, which will be the first of its kind for CFB ISD, which is super exciting. This is giving students not only the college level classes and hours if they want to, but also it's giving them workforce ready experience so that when they graduate from high school, they're ready to get a job and to go support their family.
Thank you very much. Ms. Hatfield, your question is, are there any positive lessons you have taken away from the past year that you believe will offer long-term changes to our educational system? You have 1 minute.
Yes. You know, the past year has been, it's just indescribable to see the passion that has been poured into our local level efforts and to see the passion of our teachers. And I think that what we have to remember as we come out of this pandemic is that our teachers are always focused and trying their very hardest to meet the needs of our students, even when the external factors are crazy. Our teachers are just trying so hard to ensure that they are meeting the needs of our students. And I think that this year has shown even more how much we must value and provide resources that are going to allow teachers to be more efficient and effective at their job. But I think it's also critically important that we involve them in that process, because our teachers know best in the classroom what they need to be able to be successful. And by ensuring that we are using their voice at the table in the decision making, we're going to make better decisions at a district and have a better quality.
Thank you very much. Ms. Drake, your question is, in what ways can you assure the community that their voices will be heard? You have 1 minute.
As a school board member, I will do my absolute best to advocate for the community as a whole. I will encourage our community to participate in school board meetings, come to working sessions, be involved with their PTA to ensure that their voices are being heard. If they're having any issues or troubles within the district, I will hold an open door policy. I'm always accessible to be reached via email or by cell phone, and I intend to stay that way if elected as a school board trustee.
Thank you very much. Ms. Derrick, your question, what is CFB ISD's achievement gap? What can a trustee do about it? You have 1 minute.
As we start to learn more about the learning losses of the last year, the board's been receiving reports from staff on that. Currently, our biggest learning gap, achievement gap, is with reading. We saw that our math numbers held pretty steady, which is exciting, but our reading numbers have fallen more than we want them to. And I think that it's really important to support our district right now in their efforts in overcoming that gap. The school board's been very supportive in the allocation of funds for any type of programming that the district specialists believe is necessary in order to address the reading levels. Because what we know is that we have to get students reading on level by 3rd grade. That is the sole predictor of future success for college and graduation rates. And so in order for our district to truly be successful, we've got to overcome that reading gap. And I have no doubt that our staff can do that.
Thank you, Ms. Derrick. Ms. Hatfield, your question, do you think the district's strategies to bring in more students have been enough? Do you have other suggestions on how to increase student enrollment? You have 1 minute.
So I attended the last work session where they actually talked about enrollment loss in charter schools. And I do think that the district is trying multiple different mechanisms, not only within ourselves, but also through consulting services to ensure that we are out there not only trying to find new students, but also studying. And it's really important that we study why students are leaving the district, be it from the pandemic or for other reasons. It's important that we study it, and then not only study it, but identify solutions as a collaborative group. And I think it's really important that we continue to value and trust our district professionals and people within the community to help us see where our blind spots might be. So I do think the district is trying multiple methods and is having some success.
Thank you very much. Ms. Drake, your question, what measurement of the district performance matters most to you? You'll have 1 minute.
The measurement of district performance that matters the most to me is our graduation rate. I want to make sure that our students are graduating and are successful and set up to be productive citizens, whether that means going to college or having participating in the CCMR program, where they can have licenses in order to make a livable wage.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Derrick, your question, what is the first thing you would seek to accomplish if you were elected a trustee? You have 1 minute.
So if reelected on May 1st, I would continue to support our efforts to fully fund the initiatives that we are identifying as high priority to help address the learning losses over the past year. I think that at this point, our guiding light is student achievement. We're here for the kids. And so anything that the board can do to support those efforts and especially address those learning losses going into the future, I think is just going to be top priority for us as a board. And that's remained our focus this past year. It will not change. We are laser focused. We know the mission and we know why we're here. And I look forward to continuing to do that for 3 more years.
Thank you, Ms. Derrick. Ms. Hatfield, your question is, what attributes are essential for successful school board members? You have 1 minute.
I think that successful school board members are strong advocates of effective student achievement, targeted curriculum, quality support services and resources for staff, and consistent results monitoring. It's inevitable and imperative, actually, that we are consistently looking at the results and then targeting how we're going to put our funding towards continuing to meet the goals of the Collaborative Vision 2030.
Thank you very much. Great. Ms. Drake, your question. What are your thoughts in supporting a CFB ISD virtual school? You have 1 minute.
My thoughts of supporting a CFB ISD virtual school, I think it would just depend on the needs of our community and the accessibility of that virtual school, whether we'll be providing families with hotspots and laptops. We want to make sure that if we do go forward with the virtual school, that it is accessible for our communities, especially for our students here on the West Side, and make sure that it's also equitable and fair.
Okay, thank you very much. Miss Derrick, I'm going to switch over to my phone. I have 2 versions of the script, the old printed and the new on the phone. So might need a hotspot at home too. Miss Derrick, your question, and you'll have 1 minute. In your opinion, what is one aspect of CFB ISD that you would like to see more progress in?
So I think that the thing that comes top to mind is data. We have got to hone in our data on our students and use that to drive our instruction. I'm really excited that we are putting a focus on the TIL program that the TEA is offering. CFB has become a partnership school district for that program, and we've seen some great success already at Vivian Field Middle School. And next year, we are expanding it to touch every single one of our campuses. That progress that we saw at Vivian Field is undeniable. We have moved the mark on a campus that was historically underperforming, and I'm really excited that the district has now identified data as a true driving force in achievement, and that we can now take that and replicate it at all of our campuses next year. Because when we do this, kids are going to win. We're going to have, this is going to be so good for kids. And it's something I'm really excited about.
Thank you, Ms. Derrick. All right, Ms. Hatfield, this question is for you. It's also a phone question, but it's a little long. So I'll read it slowly and I'm happy to repeat it because I would probably want it repeated too. All right. So school board taxes are some of the highest. With property values skyrocketing, this will begin to price younger families with kids out of the housing market. What specific steps will you take to rein in A, unnecessary spending by school board, and B, lower ISD taxes? You'll have 1 minute.
So I think what's critically important here is that through the auditing process that the district is currently doing, that we are identifying where we can cut budgets without losing our focus on student achievement and ensuring that we're meeting the needs of our students. So we have to take that laser focus and identify if there is and where there is excess, and then trim there and ensure that we are planning for our expected and unexpected expenses, because it's really awesome that that is something that our district does. We have a fund that's set aside so that we are preparing for the future. So I think that our taxpayers can rest assured that a balloon effect is not going to happen because we are preparing for the future. And so I think we need to continue to forward think about how we can cut costs while maximizing student achievement.
Great, thank you, Ms. Hatfield. Right, and Ms. Drake, last question for the community-based questions is for you. Can you explain recapture and discuss any challenges that CFB ISD might face in the future as a result of HB3? You'll have 1 minute.
Yes, so with HB3, there were a lot of different things that were involved with that. With recapture, we want to make sure that we are sticking to the principles of what's slated in HB3, and also make sure that we are bringing, make sure that student achievement and student success is always come first.
Okay. Thank you very much. So we will now move to the last round of questions, which will be a lightning round. But quickly, I just need to smile because I like to look completely unbiased, but you've all been doing a great job. And it's very hard for me to keep my face straight while you're all answering. So I'm just gonna, move my mouth muscles a little bit. But you all have done a great job so far. So wonderful job. The last round, as I said, will be a lightning round. It consists of 3 questions for each of you, and you'll each have 10 seconds to respond. We will rotate the order of who goes first, and we will start with you, Ms. Hatfield, then you, Ms. Drake, and then you, Ms. Derrick. So 2 versions again. Again, 10 seconds. Ms. Hatfield, should teachers be armed?
No, teachers should not be armed. They have enough responsibility with student achievement.
Thank you. I'm going to give Sylvia just a moment. Okay. Same question for you, Ms. Drake. Should teachers be armed?
No, absolutely not. Our teachers have so much on their plates right now that security should be the job of the district and not the teacher.
Okay, thank you very much. And last for you, Ms. Derrick, same question. Should teachers be armed? 10 seconds.
No, plain and simple, no.
Okay, thank you. The next lightning round question, Ms. Drake, you will be the first to answer. Are you in favor of the use of standardized tests? Ms. Drake, you have 10 seconds to answer.
Yes, I am. I'm in favor of our standardized testing.
Thank you. Ms. Derrick, you are second to answer that question. Are you in favor of the use of standardized tests?
Yes, I'm in favor of standardized testing so that we can establish where our students are for data, but not related to funding. It should not be tied to district funding.
Thank you very much. And Ms. Hatfield, your last answer, are you in favor of the use of standardized tests? 10 seconds.
Yes, I'm in favor of standardized testing, but ongoing, not once a year.
Okay, thank you all very much. Okay, and last but not least, for the lightning round, we'll start with you, Ms. Derrick. What grade would you give CFB ISD's current overall performance on an A through F standard?
B+.
Thank you very much. Ms. Hatfield, same question. What grade would you give CFB ISD's current overall performance, A through F?
B+.
Okay, thank you very much. Ms. Drake, same to you. What current grade would you give CFB ISD's performance, A through F?
B+.
Okay, I see a consistent theme here, and I'm sure that was easy for Sylvia as well. Well, candidates, I'm going to give you all an A for your performance. I mean, that was fantastic. So I'm just going to up the ante a little bit, but you all did wonderful. So now we're at the point of the evening where we are going to go ahead and do closing remarks. So we are going to reverse the order from the beginning opening remarks, which means Ms. Hatfield, you will go first with your closing remarks. Then we'll do Ms. Drake, and then we'll do Ms. Derrick. So you'll have 2 minutes for any closing remarks and or rebuttal should you like to make them. So we'll give a moment for Sylvia to catch up, and she's good to go. So Ms. Hatfield, you have 2 minutes to provide any closing remarks. Take it away.
I greatly appreciate the opportunity to participate in this forum. Thank you to CFB Council PTA and the AAUW for hosting. As we strive for continuous optimization of our district, school board members that understand the public school system and education overall are critically important. My 17 years of experience in various roles in education, including teachers, district level specialists, university level teaching, corporate, state, and federal grant management, and being a parent of children in CFB schools gives me a variety of lenses that I will wear as a trustee. As we continue to peel back the layers of the impact this past year has had on our children, our staff, and our community, and look into the future, careful consideration of our financial investment in the highest quality resources to meet the needs of our children and ensure that we are being efficient and effective in growing our children academically, socially, and emotionally is going to be critically important. If you believe in maintaining research and evidence-based decision-making is important, that teachers and staff should have opportunities for leadership and growth, and that community engagement to support a culture of lifelong learning is necessary, then I would ask you to consider 2 votes for Cassandra Hatfield for School Board Trustee on or before May 1st. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Hatfield. All right, Ms. Drake, you have 2 minutes to provide closing remarks and or rebuttals. Take it away.
Thank you once again to the CFB ISD Council PTA and the AAUW North Dallas branch for this opportunity. Thank you to the viewers for supporting education and listening to us tonight. Running for office isn't something that I thought that was in the cards for me. It wasn't it was a hard decision to make. And being on the ballot last year and losing by 300 votes was really heart-wrenching, but I had to remember my why and why I put my name on that ballot. And it's because I have a servant's heart. I believe in our district. I'm vested in our district as a mom, as a community member, and as a representative of the West Side. I believe that representation matters. You need an inclusive board in order to serve the students that they are committed to. I just want to remind you guys that as a school board member, I will focus on making decisions on 4 principles: quality, equitable education, supporting educator effectiveness, and fiscal transparency. I hope that I can gain your 2 votes and that you would vote for me, number 3 on the ballot this time, on or before May 1st. Please visit my website, drakeforcfb.com, or my Facebook page to learn more about me, my vision for our district, and how you can be involved with our campaign. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Drake. All right, and Ms. Derrick will conclude with your closing remarks or rebuttals. You'll have the same 2 minutes.
Okay. I want to thank everyone who tuned in tonight. This was a great way to kick off our candidate forums for this election cycle. Thank you to the Council PTA and the AAUW for continuing your commitment to educating and informing voters. I have a proven record of leadership in our district over the past 12 years, and I've remained steadfast to my commitment of working to better our schools and our communities. I believe in public schools and the impact they have on our communities. As the current vice president of the school board, I will continue to bring my passion and years of engagement to advocate for our staff, our students, and taxpayers to ensure that we have the highest return on investment. I will continue to work tirelessly to ensure our district is fiscally responsible and prepared for the future. We have years of work ahead of us related to the impact of the pandemic, and I am fully invested in the success of our district while supporting our students as they overcome the achievement gaps of the past year. Again, I am Sally Derrick, and I'm asking for your 2 votes in the May 1st school board election. This is my hometown, and it's a community that I love, and it's been an honor to serve these past 3 years, and I look forward to serving 3 more. As the only incumbent in this race, I would be remiss if I did not mention my fellow board member, John Matthews. John chose not to seek re-election this year, and since that time has become very ill. John, I'm sending you all the good all the good vibes tonight, buddy, and I'm praying for you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ms. Derrick. And I'll echo for your thoughts about Coach Matthews. We'll send an extra prayer up for him. So thanks for bringing that up. That's a great way to close out the wonderful forum, because we all are here for the great educators, administrators, and of course our students that make tomorrow's world a lot brighter. So thank you so much to all of our candidates tonight. It goes without saying that we are able to see again a brighter future because of the work you're putting in today. So this concludes our forum. Thank you to our candidates and our sponsors tonight, as well as our attendees. If you feel so compelled to share this with other voters, you'll be able to do so thanks to this being live on Facebook. I'd also, of course, like to thank our friends at CFB Council PTA, as well as the AAUW. This would not occur every voting cycle without their hard work and effort, and the women behind this put a lot of hard work and effort into it. They did not ask me to say that. That's my own 2 thoughts. But of course, early voting runs April 19th through 27th, and then election day is May the 1st. So please make sure to help get the word out. You can also find out more information on voting on votedenton.com or dallascountyvotes.org. So on behalf of the team here behind the scenes, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And of course, candidates, we wish you the best of luck in your endeavors to seek election. Have a great evening and good night.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night.